Hello, DigiFam. It's Prodigious, and I just want to share with you. Granted, it is not BT17 version, but this is the EX6 type of Diaboromon deck. Now, when BT7 does come out, I'm not sure if I'll actually make big changes to this deck or not. I know Diaboromon kind of runs a little bit differently in that set. It runs around the option card countdown or whatever for an instant win card, our first of our kind. So I'm not sure about that yet. It'll require some testing. But here is my take on the EX6 variant that tries to just swarm the field and control the board. And of course, I will also list going over some of the cards we are about to get in BT17, and along with a couple other cards just for honorable mentions. But here's my main deck list at the moment. Now, I'm running the Sunamon from BT5. When attacking once per turn, this Digimon has unidentified in its type. You trigger draw 1. I have also seen some people actually use the Diaboromon egg that we got from BT15, I believe, that has the inheritable effect of saying that whenever a Digimon with blocker is deleted, you get to draw a card or gain a memory. I forget which exactly. That's also an alternative, but I'm trying to keep this deck on theme, so that is my egg. Caramon, pardon me. I'm running 4 copies of Caramon from BT2. It just hard play for 3, Evo on top of an egg for nothing. No real effect on it. Its inheritable is your turn. If you play another Digimon that has the same name as this Digimon, you draw a card. Then I'm running 4 copies of BT5 Caramon. On play, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with unidentified in its type, and 1 Arata Sonata Tamer card among them to your hand. Place the remaining at the bottom of the deck in any order. No inheritable on him. And then last, I'm running 4 copies of Caramon from EX6. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Tamer or option card with Diaboromon in its text, and 1 card with unidentified trait among them to your hand. Trash the rest. Inheritable is on deletion. If this card has unidentified trait, you may play 1 Diaboromon token without paying the cost. Then we have 4 copies for our level 4s of EX6 Kurosarimon. When this card will be played from the hand, by deleting one of your Digimon with an unidentified trait, reduce the play cost by 3. I take it that little text right there is for when you're wanting to try and flood the board and you want to say delete something that has a bunch of inheritables, like we're going to see soon, that says that on deletion you create more tokens. Otherwise, we have on play when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 3 or less. So great for getting rid of rookies or floodgates. We also have the inheritable of on deletion, you create a token. Our other level 4, we're running 4 copies of Kurosarimon. I don't know why this is saying a different name right now, but this is Kurosarimon. This is the BT2 version. If you play another Digimon inheritable that has the same name as this Digimon, you gain a memory. And then last, I'm running 4 copies of Kurosarimon from BT5. When digivolving, if you don't have an Arata Sonata card in play, you can play one without paying the cost. Inheritable, your turn. This Digimon and all of your Digimon that share the same name gain Rush. So as you can see, we have different inheritables for different situations. Usually we're trying to not only get one stack going, we're trying to get a second stack with slightly different or similar inheritables going, just so that we can get the full benefits of everything. On to our level 5. So we are running 4 copies of the EX6 Infirmon, the creepy little spider. Oh, pardon me. On play or when digivolving, by deleting one of your Digimon with Diaboromon in its name, this Digimon may digivolve into Diaboromon in your hand without paying the cost. So I take it, again, this might be a good scenario where you are trying to go ahead and just sacrifice a stack or possibly a token to go ahead and have this guy evo into the real Diaboromon. Inheritable is all turns once per turn when one of your other Digimon with Diaboromon in its name is played. De-Digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. Then I'm running 4 copies of Infirmon from BT5. This basically says that your Caramon Rookie can digivolve into this card for a memory cost of 4, ignoring its digivolution requirements. So instead of going from a 4 to this guy for a cost of 3, you could just pay 1 extra memory and go straight from your rookie into this ultimate. Inheritable is on deletion. You may play a Diaboromon token. Now, on to the Mischief Maker himself. We are running 4 copies of the EX6 Diaboromon. Start your main phase, and when digivolving, you may play 1 Diaboromon Digimon card token without paying the cost. Oh, pardon me again. I guess my coffee's wearing off. All turns once per turn. When an opponent's Digimon is played, you may activate one of this Digimon's when digivolving effects. So if they were to play a Digimon, you get to create more tokens. All turns, all your other Digimon with Diaboromon in its name gain jamming and blocker. So that is great. That means your tokens can now swing without fear of being deleted. And your tokens that are still standing and not suspended yet can block. Now, in my current version of the deck, I had not got a chance to test it anymore, and with BT7 just around the corner, this deck will probably go through some more testing. I tried running 2 copies of Diaboromon the promo. Of your turn, you gain security attack for each Diaboromon you have. So this thing, when it does get played out in my play testing, and I will have some footage of that later, showcasing it, but when this thing did come out, it swung for 3 to 4 checks easy. So that's the best part about this particular take on the deck. It can go wide, it can go tall. I'm also running a single copy of Armageddonmon. This is the BT5 version of when playing this card from your hand, you may delete one of your Diaboromon to reduce its cost by 12, making it essentially a 3 cost. It has a rush. All turns, all level 7 Digimon do not activate their when digivolving effects. This is great for stopping Omnimons, Ragnlordmons, and any other level 7s that has those annoying when digivolving effects. Now, when BT7 comes out, that might get swapped out for the black and white version coming, but we'll see. Moving on, we have the tamer for the deck. We have Arata Sonata. At the start of your turn, if you have a Digimon with unidentified in its type in your trash, you gain a memory. Your turn. When you digivolve your Digimon into a Diaboromon, you can suspend this tamer to create a Diaboromon token. And last, moving on to our options, I'm running at least 2 copies of Ultimate Flare at the moment. This is an 8-cost option card. Its security effect is to activate the main effect, which is trigger D-Digivolve 3 on one of my opponent's Digimon. Then I delete all of my opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 3 or less. So if this were to somehow delete something, or not delete, D-Digivolve something all the way down to its rookie form, it deletes all of them. And last, we have the signature card that works with Diaboromon. That is also Catastrophe Cannon. Again, it's going to be some more D-Digivolve action. For 4 cost, you D-Digivolve 2 on one opponent's Digimon. Then, if I have a Diaboromon in play, you get to play a Diaboromon token. Now, on to some other decks, or not other decks, but other cards that you could run in this deck, and that includes a couple of the options that we're about to have from BT7. Alright, so I haven't actually play tested it just yet, but I will say for certain, if you can get your hands on it, because I don't actually own one in real life, so therefore I haven't really play tested it a whole lot, even with the simulator. But the Diaboromon Ace is a strong recommend. You don't have to have it, but if you can get it and run it, I would recommend it. Because of the hand counterblast Digivolve effect, you can Digivolve from your level 5 into this for free. When Digivolving and when attacking, you can play a Diaboromon token without paying the cost. All turns, once per turn, when another Digimon is played by an effect, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 3 or less. For each Diaboromon you have in play, increase the maximum cost of this Digimon card you can delete with this effect by 2. So basically, whenever you or your opponent plays a Digimon, that means you've been playing your tokens, you can pop something, at least a rookie, starting off, but then it increases that by 2 for each Diaboromon. So in the end, if you have even one Diaboromon token, that's at least a champion at most, because of play cost of 5, right? If you have 2 Diaboromon tokens, that's at least an easily most ultimates that have a play cost of 7. If you have 3 Diaboromon tokens out, that's going to be a lot of the aces. And if you have 4 or more, then you're definitely deleting a mega. So yeah, I strong recommend. I know I'm going to probably see about trying to get my hands on some of these myself. Next up, another thought that came to mind, it was to actually try and run the old EX1 Diaboromon, simply because it has a security effect of, at the end of the battle, you play a token. The way this deck works, it has to have ways of just generating tokens out of nowhere. Not to mention, it does have a nifty little effect on it if you happen to Digivolve into this. All of your Diaboromon gain blocker. So suddenly all those tokens you've created are now blockers for you. So some food for thought. Anyway, moving on, let's take a look at a couple of the new cards that we're about to get from BT17. As I've already mentioned, I may be upgrading / changing my Armageddonmon into the new one. Possibly. We'll see. Let's see what it says here. This is when this Digimon, or when this card will be played from the hand by returning up to 13 cards with the identified trait or Diaboromon in their text from your trash, the bottom of the deck. For each card returned, reduce the play cost by 1. So it's a 16 cost. If you were to somehow still pull off the miraculous thing of returning a total of 13 cards, this now becomes a 3 cost. So similar to what the Armageddon we have now does. Alright. What else does it offer? Well, it still has Rush, so that's good. But it also has Blocker and Reboot. So now suddenly this big guy that you can potentially just hard play suddenly now is not only Rush, but a Blocker and Reboot. We also have On Play and when Digivolving, delete up to 15 play costs worth of your opponent's Digimon. That is definitely some power creep to that. And then finally, your turn. This Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So yeah, that's pretty tempting, I gotta say. Now, let's go back a little bit to the little troublemaker himself. So in BT17, the new version of Caramon will offer us opponent's turn. When opponent's Digimon is played or Digivolves, if that Digimon is a level 5 or higher, this Digimon may Digivolve into Infirmon in the hand, ignoring its Digivolution requirements and without paying the cost. So yeah, that could definitely see its way into the deck. We might very well replace the Caramon that doesn't have an inheritable for this one, because this one does have an inheritable of on deletion, create a Diaboromon token. And then I didn't see the champion version when I first skimmed over BT17, but I might have missed it. Let me take a quick look right here. BT17. No, there does not appear to be a Infirmon. Or not Infirmon, the Charismon, the champion level. So, yep, there is not one of those in that set, which is fine, because I think our champion lineup is alright. Moving on to the ultimates, though, there's a new Infirmon right here of when Digivolving, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, one of their Digimon with a play cost of 8 or less can't attack players until the next end of their turn. So that is interesting, I will give it that. I'm not sure if that would make its way into my build or even into a newer build or not. But it is interesting. Inheritable is all turns once per turn when one of your other Digimon with Diaboromon in its name is played. De-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Okay, now that, I can see that actually being useful. So not so much its main effect as it is inheritable. Now, we got Diaboromon from BT17. And here he is with his crew of clones. So when Digivolving, by placing one Clock of the End from your hand or trash as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, you may play 2 Diaboromon tokens. Opponent's turn. Once per turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon attacks, it may switch the attack target to one of your Diaboromon in name. So he doesn't really have a way of consistently generating more tokens. But he does work with the new option card that is an auto win. So let's see. Clock of the End. Security effect is to add this card to your hand. Main effect, you play 1 Diaboromon token without paying the cost. Then place this card at the bottom Digivolution card of one of your Diaboromon without Clock of the End in its Digivolution cards. So it's a 3 cost way to basically generate tokens. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of some making it up for the fact that our level 6 Diaboromon from BT7 doesn't have a consistent way of generating more tokens. Instead, you use this option card to help you with that. Start of your turn. If if four block of the ends are placed in your battle area, you win the game. So you're playing these clock token option cards to help you generate more Diaboromon tokens. And you're trying to put these underneath your actual Diaboromons, not the tokens. Alright, so you're trying to keep your main Diaboromons alive while generating tokens, and then your tokens can be the one that gets sacrificed for stuff. Okay. Inheritable. All turns, when this Digimon would leave the battle area by an opponent's effect, by deleting one of your other Diaboromon, prevent it from leaving. Okay, so that kind of helps to that playstyle as well. End of an opponent's turn. Place one clock of the end from this Digimon's Digivolution cards in the battle area. So basically, the way this is going to work is you're going to have to play these option cards, make a token. It goes underneath one of your real Diaboromons. It helps protect the real Diaboromon slightly. And then at the end of the opponent's turn, it goes into the battle area. And then once you have 4 of these in your battle area, you win the game. So I'm not sure if we'll actually be building this as its own type of deck, or if we're going to be changing our Diaboromon deck you've seen here today in this profile to work with all of this new stuff or not. But we will see. I have a feeling it'll probably be better to probably just incorporate the EX6 and Ace, just because they can create a lot more Diaboromon tokens. And then just slide in some of these. Possibly replace the catastrophe cannons. Like, I could probably see me swapping out the security attack Diaboromon for the Ace. Probably swapping out that for the other Armageddonmon. And then just swap out the 4 catastrophe cannons for the clock of the ends. So, I could probably see you probably running this version of Diaboromon if you were having issue with stuff that has, like, say, raid and tries to swing into your specific Diaboromon. Maybe? I don't know. We'll see. We'll do some play testing as soon as we can get those cards on the DCGO simulator. But that has been our deck profile, and also a slight glimpse into what's coming around the corner. This has been Prodigious, and I'll see you next time.